One.
Woo!
All right, guys. Cheers.
Yeah,
Another episode.
Already cracked it. Not bad.
Another episode of Beers and Bets brought to you by @chasing_bets on Twitter.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, go follow us. We are bringing you all the sports content all the time. A lot of gambling mainly, but we do go over the league as well, give you some news, updates, kind of what we like.
It's fun. Sports are fun.
Before we get into this
Saleh
video,
just signed with the Jets, by the way.
yeah.
Just became like official not too long ago.
Before we get into this video going over the Chiefs and the Browns, wanted to thank everyone who's watched, who is still watching.
Shout out to you guys.
Everyone who has liked, subscribed, followed us, DM'd us comments, suggestions, their own picks, asking us what we like. I've had a lot of people saying, "Hey, what do you think about this line?" And we just talk sports. That's what we do.
Love sports.
We're sports fans, sports buffs. Sports is my life.
Without
you guys,
girlfriend's out of town for a couple weeks, and that's really all I got left, guys.
Without
that and Call of Duty.
Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. I'm having a lot of fun not being able to go out like I usually do. So just hanging out, talking sports, meeting new people, connecting with you guys, bringing this content to you. It's what we're here for. All of these videos are unscripted. They're unplanned.
If you watch and listen to some of the stuff I say, you will very much understand. Sorry to cut you off there.
It's very unscripted. We don't talk over our picks or anything before we get into this. We don't even talk over what we're going to say, all these ad libs and stuff. We're just two guys drinking beer and talking bets. Hence, beers and bets.
Yeah,
it's what we do. We're two guys. We bought these mics on Amazon.
Yeah, you're not giving us microphones.
Why they should have a background check before they send you mics, because these people are going to be
they
sending
gave us
these
an
videos
arm
out
for one of them. Do you know how much freaky stuff you can do with a mic with an arm?
That's a video for a different YouTube channel.
You can get like the angle, you know what I'm saying? Get like above it, so you really can't see it, but you can kind of get better. Unscripted, guys. Also, what about out of beer?
Can we get to football now?
Also, these are our last two beers. We should probably...
Let's get to football. All right.
Whiskey.
So, after this, thank you guys. We're going to jump into the Chiefs and the Browns.
Browns somehow found a way to win last week.
They did.
Pittsburgh dropped
They did.
Freaking A.
They did.
Good for them.
Lines as of about 10 p.m. on Thursday Central Time. Chiefs are plus 10. I'm sorry. Wrote those backwards. The Browns are a plus 10.
So hammer that. Hammer the Chiefs plus 10.
Browns are a plus 10, plus 380, and an over 57, under 57. Chiefs are a minus 10, minus 490 with an over under 57. Sorry about that. Again, unscripted. Long day of work. Work till about 6:30 in construction. It's a long day.
I would think that goes to 9.5 at some point soon.
I would think so, hopefully, but it was...
Yeah, I think it's 9.5.
I believe it was. I think it just jumped up to 10. I'm going to wait on the lines themselves.
I saw it go to 10.5. I think it's back down to 10.
First glance, before I get into this, I am a Chiefs fan as well, being St. Louis, same state. Back when the Chiefs kind of reached out and said, hey, come be a fan of us. We've got Mahomes and we're good, and we do a lot of fun stuff, and we like to party. Been to KC a lot.
They do like to drink.
They do like to drink
Holmes
as well.
And Kelsey get after it.
They like to drink as well. I've heard some stories. It's a fun time up in KC. I like it. I've kind of developed them. Call me a bandwagon if you want. I'm for it. I admit I've jumped on their bandwagon since the Rams left.
You have. It's okay.
It's okay. We all do it. Chiefs are the bandwagon that I've chosen to go with because they're same state, makes the most logical sense, and they're really good.
Personally, as a lifelong Steelers fan, I have not chosen against. I am here for the rough years that are sure to follow.
Yeah,
and got one left, and that never happened. Hopefully, you draft quarterback. Nonetheless, this game,
Chiefs Browns opening lines. Not crazy about any of it, especially the way the Browns came out last week. I think they're going to be on a high. They're going to be coming into this with confidence.
Ooh.
However, after an emotional game like that, the Chiefs very well could blow them away.
Trap game. This is probably, in like no exaggeration here, I think this genuinely might be the biggest trap game ever. They have not won in Pittsburgh in 17. They haven't won in Pittsburgh since before they drafted Ben. And Ben's old. Also, first playoff win, and even longer than that, a game they were not supposed to win. Like, without, oh my God, this is the biggest trap game. I think, genuinely, the biggest trap game I've ever seen. So, it very much possible they could get dog walked. I think Chase Claypool. Also, Steelers receivers need to stop talking. Personally, that's my take on it. To quote Chase Claypool, they're going to get clapped this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a good chance that happens.
I would love to see it. If I had to, I would lean more towards the Chiefs on the 10. I am going to take their explosive offense. They're going to put up a lot of points. The Browns being on such an emotional high, like you said, this is a trap game. If I've seen one,
it's a trap game.
I don't like the lines. If I had to, I'm gonna go Chiefs on the -10. I think they cover. I think they really roll away with this one. They're rested. They've been resting for 2 weeks. Their starters were rested week 17.
Which could call back to hurt.
It could, but at the same time, those weeks off, a lot of people don't complain with those.
Mahomes and Kelsey are good enough to take advantage.
I think so. So going into that, I would also lean over under 57 is pretty high.
I would just stay away from that one.
Chiefs are going to put up points. We know this. They can put up 35.
Baker Mayfield's going to have another good. Baker Mayfield's actually been playing really well lately. If you guys haven't noticed that, he's like actually legit taking a step and getting better.
He has.
That being said, if they're down by 2 or 3 touchdowns, can he get them back in the game?
That's the thing, and I think once you go down to the Chiefs, it's hard to come back because they're going to keep scoring. Once that first punt, it's going to come down. Browns need to score first if they want a chance in this, and they're going to have to rely on their running game. Chubb is going to be involved this week. The last thing, I'm going to go into this in unbiased. I try to give the most unbiased picks, even though, like I said, I am a Chiefs fan. I'm a Blues fan. I'm a Cardinals fan. I love to bet them, but I do also have a little bit of heart in there. But I also know when not to pick them and when to stay away and just
go about it.
And just stay about it. So going into this, I'm going to give you an unbiased take on this. In order for the Browns to win the game, Chubb's going to have to be involved. They have to keep the ball away from Mahomes. That's going to be, first down after first down, keeping their defense rested. That's going to be, again, getting Chubb involved, running the game, taking time off. Really controlling the game is how they have to win this.
I agree with you 100%. I think that's why I say that if the Chiefs take the lead early, if they're up by 14, 21 points, I don't. Baker's been playing great. I'm actually a very big Baker Mayfield fan, even though the fact that he plays for the Browns, I loved him in college. He's got that swag and that attitude. I just love it. I'm a fan of guys like that, like him. I love Johnny Manziel in college too. Mm-hmm. But Baker Mayfield bring you back from a 2-score deficit, which very well could happen against his Chiefs team? That's my question. If it gets 10, it's over.
If you get 2 scores, if the Chiefs get 2 possessions, especially 2 touchdown possessions, it's going to be tough for those Browns to come back just because we know how explosive the Chiefs are. Yeah. And they're not going to just run the ball and, they get up to, 3 scores. They're not going to just run the ball and take time and then punt and settle for that. They're going to keep putting up points. It's a lot like college where they don't stop. They're gonna keep running. They're gonna keep throwing. They're gonna score. It's going to happen. I don't have it written down.
Have you noticed with the Chiefs that there's some games the Chiefs don't cover a lot of stuff. You guys haven't noticed that they play a lot of games within 1 score. It's almost like they just don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And game's getting close. Let's go score.
Yep.
We're up by 20. Whatever.
They don't.
Up by 10. I'll throw a deep ball to Tyreek Hill.
There's just so much talent on that team that they are so confident in their ability to score and their ability to score quick. And you saw it last season. as they were down by 10, 14 points each game.
Yeah, 20 something. I mean, it's crazy.
Marching right back.
They could very well go on a run like the Patriots went on. Their 7 Super Bowl runs. They could very well go on a three-peat very easily.
They're dangerous.
They got a couple years before their cap's going to start to hurt them.
They're dangerous. I actually have, again, as a fan, I don't push this, but I actually do have the Chiefs as the Super Bowl winners this year, just because it is they're explosive. They're going to be hard to beat, and if someone does beat them, it's going to be a damn good dogfight and a well-deserved victory.
I think the Saints or the Packers give them a very good game. I wouldn't mind seeing the Saints-Packers Super Bowl just be a shootout. Not Saints. That's NFC Championship at 1 is Saints Packers. Chiefs Packers would be a shootout. I think the Chiefs defense plays long day, guys. We're 12-hour day. I think the Saints defense plays a good game against the Chiefs. They played it. It was decently close last time with Thomas out and Breeze's first game back. So I will be my preferred the Chiefs and one of those two teams coming out of the AFC.
So on those lines, I'm leaning more Chiefs -10.
Yep.
For all of those of you who are prop bettors, got a couple out here, a couple good ones that I like. We'll start with Mahomes, 320 passing yards. In a big game like this, I think he's going to hit the over. I would lean more towards over. 300 yards is.
For him, it's not a lot.
Average.
Yeah, it's average. I also think they could go up big early and just run the ball.
It could happen, but also if they go up big, they're doing it on that passing game, and they're already most of the way there. And then he's got a quarter and a half left to
he goes over 300 most every game he plays.
So I would lean more towards on the over. I would never bet Mahomes on the under.
It's a bad idea.
If I'm iffy on it, I'm just going to stay away.
It's a good move.
I'm leaning more towards his rushing yards. His rushing yards are 18.5. Let's be real, as a quarterback, he loves to get out of the pocket, but he doesn't take off running like Lamar does. He likes to bait those defenders forward. That's when he finds someone on a streak and he throws on the run.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he makes plays happen that way. However, he's not afraid to tuck the ball down and run it when there's open field. We've seen it. When he does that, he's usually getting 15 yards or so, at least 10.
Yeah.
That's 2-3 rushes for him. I'm liking his over 18.5 rushing yards. I don't think it's by much, but I think he's up into that 20s by the time the game ends.
That's a tough one for me. I don't know if the Browns have, especially with they're down in the end. They're Olivier Vernon blew out his Achilles in the last week of the regular season. So their main pass rushers are Garrett and Sheldon Richardson. I don't know if they're gonna have the ability, if they're gonna get enough of a pass rush to get him to start scrambling and running.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my only hold up with that is. I agree with everything you said with this. I don't know how much they didn't get a lot of pressure on Ben last week. The Steelers' O-line's terrible.
I agree with you there, but in a way, it's part of Mahomes' game style.
Yeah.
Just like Lamar's going to run the ball, Mahomes is going to get out of the pocket and throw on the run. He's going to use his legs just in a different manner than Lamar. I mean, look at the two. Lamar's at 79 rushing yards and Mahomes, a very mobile quarterback, is at 18.
Yeah.
That is a night and day difference. That's a running back to a quarterback. Sorry for all you Lamar fans, but
sorry, Mark.
Running back. 78 yards is a running back stat. 18.5 is
starts to slow down.
A quarterback start. So
when he hits 30, it's all downhill, Mark.
Mahomes, 18.5 rushing yards. Again, his passing touchdowns, 2.5 over under. He loves to throw the ball when he's in the red zone. We've seen him even when he's on the one. He'll throw run a play action, throw a slant. He loves throwing the ball and racking up those touchdowns. I gotta say he gets 3 here. I gotta say he gets at least 3 touchdowns here. I'm not betting the under. Stay away from the under on that. If you don't want to bet it, don't bet it at all.
Yeah, I don't like betting these.
If you do want to bet it, I love it because it just gives me a little bit extra more in game to root for.
Makes sense.
So I don't put as much into those, but I do like to bet them just because then I'm I'm kind of pushing for a certain player or a certain thing to happen. So that's his. Baker on the opposite, 260.5 passing yards, 13.5 rushing, and a touchdown and a half. Again, I think all very doable.
I think he can do all of them, especially if they fall behind. He's gonna have to throw the ball.
I think he's.
Chiefs secondary is not great.
I'm leaning over on his 260 passing.
I like the over on that as well.
His rushing, 13 is not a lot.
He'll run. He'll run the ball. He's not afraid to run the ball.
He's not afraid. As well. He's also not afraid to. He doesn't slide. He's not afraid to take a hit and get an extra 2 yards.
I think he likes to get hit.
Something's wrong with him. No, I got respect for the guy. I love it.
He's dangerous.
Don't mean something's wrong with him, but I think all those are doable for him too. Especially the touchdown and a half. I think he's got to at least throw 2. If they're
going to be in the game, he's got to throw at least 2.
If he's going to remain close, he's going to throw at least 2.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I'm at. Kelce, getting into some receiving yards. Kelce is at 86.5 receiving yards. That's going to be an under for me.
I don't like betting tight ends with that kind of yards.
No.
But that being said, the Browns don't have a linebacker that can cover them.
They don't.
At all.
But that's a lot for a tight end. You do see him get chunk yards, 20, 25-yard catches.
If it was like 65 to 70, I'd probably hit the over, but that 80.
Once it gets into the upper 80s, I'm going to lean away from that one. I'm
not going to play it.
If I'm any of you, I would lean more towards the under, but I'm going to stay away from it. Going on to the next one, Hill, 82.5 receiving yards. I think that's very doable for him.
Yeah, they are getting their top cornerback this week, though. Ward's coming back off the COVID list this week, so that's something to consider.
COVID brain, though.
Hey, man.
It is
COVID
a thing.
Lungs.
It is a thing.
He can't run with Tyreek Hill all game.
No. So Kelce, but the fact that Kelce is more yards than Hill on these, it's crazy.
It's because of Ward, I think.
I'm on the Hill 82.5 over, just because that they're gonna find him on a deep route. He's gonna get 50 yards.
I mean, they're gonna find him on some point.
Or he a little wide receiver screen and he
just makes plays.
Yep. He does. He makes plays. He's fast. 82.5 over. I'm taking that. And the other one that I'm liking is Chubb, 70.5 rushing yards. That's going to be a close one. It's going to depend.
I like the under.
It's going to depend on the style of the game. They to me cannot just abandon the run, whether they're down or up. They cannot abandon the run. If they get down those 2 scores, they still have to run the ball. If they go one-dimensional, passing only, it's going to be rough for them. They're going to turn the ball over. They're going to be punting. A lot of 3-and-outs. They've got to run the ball. I think Chubb gets the 70.5 personally. I'm going to wait on it, see if it drops maybe a little bit more. I'm going to play it out. Maybe one of those game time decisions. I'm leaning over. Very well could stay away. Stay tuned again. I'll be posting my picks in a text form. That way you all can go through and see what you like.
I'm standing up. I got a sneaky one for you, though.
What's that?
Le'Veon Bell, rush yards, whatever it is. I kind of like the over because Clyde Edwards-Helaire was banged up at the end of the year and he did not practice today. If Edwards-Helaire doesn't play and you can get, I'm assuming Bell's over 100 yards is probably not very high because he's been like 30-ish, 40 yards every game I've seen him. If you can get him over, it's something like over like 30, like 4.5, 36, whatever it might be, I like that one personally. If Edwards-Helaire does not play. If Edwards-Helaire dresses and plays, I would not touch it.
Edwards-Helaire is going to get the touches.
If CEH does not play, I like L. Bell's yardage over. Mm-hmm. If he does play, nah.
So that's all of it for the lines there.
That's it.
I'm liking Chiefs -10. I'm liking the Mahomes 2.5 over passing touchdowns. Liking Baker over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Liking both of their rushing yards. Like Mahomes a little better at the 18.5 over rushing yards. Hill 82.5 receiving yards over. I'm probably going to get in a little bit on each of these. I'll let you know which ones in a tweet. But that's kind of all I got. You want to say anything else to wrap this one up?
I'm not touching a lot of stuff on this game. I think I touch. I'm probably, if Edwards-Helaire doesn't play, I'm hitting L-Bell's over on yardage. That's all I'm going to play. If he doesn't, if Edwards-Helaire plays, I'm not going to play any of those games. I don't like the spread. If I were to bet it, I would probably bet the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't cover anything. They just kind of turn it on and win games.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if I've learned anything after losing money all these years and winning a little bit along the way, trap games are a very real thing, and this is the trap game to end all trap games.
Yes, it is.
Browns plus 10. Normally probably a good play because they've covered a lot this year. Mm-hmm. But after what happened last week, I personally.
Good takes all around. This one I'm excited for personally just because Chiefs fan. I'm excited for it. Ready to start my Sunday off with that. But stay tuned. We are going to get to the Sunday night game. Yep. Keep those videos rolling. We've got more beer to drink. If you've just now joined us, go backwards.
We're out of beer.
And unless you know what's happening, if you're Sunday right now looking at these, don't go back and watch our own
videos. You want to see me be an asshole and make a fool of myself? You go watch them.
It happened. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, Beers and Bets on YouTube, on Twitter, at @chasing_bets. Much love to all of you guys.
If you're watching all these, we love you. Thank you so much.
Much love.